The suspect in the Kada Scott killing is now charged with murder, but it's one text message that has police looking more deeply into the relationship between the victim and her suspected killer.
A mother outraged after she says a teacher attacked her son, and she says the consequences that teacher's facing aren't enough. The next steps, she says, should be taken.
And the city lights up blue for the Sixers after their big win in Boston. It's thanks in part to a record-breaking rookie, the stat that puts him in the same conversation as LeBron James, Allen Iverson, and Wilt Chamberlain. Those stories and more on today's edition of The Lineup. It's Thursday, October 23rd, 2025.
Hey everyone, I'm NBC 10's Keith Jones.
And I'm NBC 10's Erin Coleman. Let's get you up to speed with what you need to know today, starting with the disappearance and death of Kada Scott.
Yeah, we could learn how Kada died today. The 23-year-old's death officially ruled a homicide yesterday. Police have since charged Keon King with her death. New court documents revealing the timeline leading up to Kada's death and what happened after.
NBC 10's Lili Zheng is outside Ada Lewis Middle School in East Germantown with what those documents say.
There are a few moving parts with this investigation, including surveillance video as well as cell phone activity. Part of that cell phone activity includes text messages, exchanges between Keon King and Kada Scott. There's also now an investigation into a possible second suspect. A dozen phone calls. This is what investigators say was exchanged between Kada Scott and Keon King on October 4th, the night she disappeared. Court documents revealed some texts between Scott and King. One from Scott reading, quote, "Kidnap me again," with King allegedly replying, "Better be up to." It's followed up by Scott telling him to call her when he arrived. Documents also state a co-worker of Scott's at the nursing home told police they saw Scott around 10 o'clock on October 4th and overheard her saying, quote, "I can't believe you're calling me about this," before Scott walked toward a dark-colored car parked outside of the job just before 10:15. Her phone goes dead 9 minutes later. Not long after, detectives say King was at the rec center near Ada Lewis Middle in Germantown. They also believe Scott was likely dead by that point. They say surveillance video shows King getting out of a black car, a stolen Hyundai Accent, and walking away. The next night, investigators say King drove back to the rec center, this time in a gold Camry with someone else, the two seeming to remove something from the Hyundai toward the place where Scott's remains were eventually found. The pair are seen on video walking away. 2 days later, King goes back, taking off with the Hyundai before it was set on fire overnight on October 7th. Philadelphia Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel says this investigation isn't over.
We continue to pursue anyone who helped, who concealed, who participated in this act. We will not stop.
And back here at Ada Lewis, a memorial for Scott continues to grow this morning. Detectives, we're told, have also interviewed two women who King allegedly lived with, and they have recovered a number of items, including ammunition as well as gloves. We're told that none of those items were believed to be connected to where Kada Scott's body was found. For now, reporting in East Germantown, Lili Zheng, NBC 10 News.
And community members got the chance to voice their concerns about the Kada Scott case. A community safety town hall was held with city leaders last night. Mayor Sherelle Parker and Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel offered their condolences to Scott's family. Then community members brought up their worries. Things got tense when one woman questioned the school district superintendent about why Ada Lewis Middle School was sat vacant for years. That's where Scott's body was found.
He should have been here answering questions as to why those schools looked the way that they did.
Superintendent says the school district is reviewing all of its vacant properties in the next week to make sure they're in appropriate shape. The district will make recommendations this winter on how the schools can be repurposed. Again, expected to learn new information on Kada's death sometime today. When we get those details, we'll bring them to you live on air and online at NBC10.com. A pair of arsonists will spend decades in prison for setting a fire that killed a Philadelphia Fire Department lieutenant.
Yesterday's sentencing comes more than 3 years after the fire at Star Pizza in Fair Hill. Lieutenant Sean Williamson was killed when the building collapsed on Wednesday. Wednesday, a judge sentenced the shop's owner, Al Ashraf Khalil, to serve 40 years in prison. He apologized in court yesterday saying, quote, "I am not an evil man, but I was a selfish one. My selfish actions took away a man that was a hero." The judge sentenced his accomplice, Issam Jakhama, to serve 25 years. Both men had faced the potential of life sentences. Prosecutors say they torched the building to profit off of insurance claims. All right, now to a story you first saw on NBC 10. A mother demanding criminal charges be filed against a teacher who she says attacked her son at a North Philadelphia school.
The incident left the boy with severe injuries, including a missing tooth. Montrena Bennett says her son Peyton was at lunch at KIPP Preparatory Academy this past Monday when they asked the school employee to use the bathroom. When Peyton was told no, that situation escalated. The 12-year-old says he was punched in the face so hard his tooth was knocked out.
He kept getting in my way, so I tried to get past him. He got in front of me many times. Then he had put me in a headlock, and then I had swung, then he had swung back.
It's the most heartbreaking thing that you could ever do because I couldn't protect my child in that moment. Like, I couldn't protect my child.
Along with his tooth being dislodged, Peyton suffered a split lip and will likely need surgery. His mom tells us she's in the process of finding him a new school. KIPP Preparatory Academy says the staff member has been fired. Philadelphia police tell us they are investigating. KIPP Philadelphia released a statement. The statement reading in part, quote, "We understand the pain this has caused and are committed to supporting them through this difficult time. Every child deserves to feel safe, cared for, and protected at school, and we take that responsibility seriously."
We've learned more about a Montgomery County teen who was accused of bringing a gun to school. Police arrested the 16-year-old at North Penn High School in Lansdale Tuesday. Police say he brought a 9mm handgun into the building. Not clear how the teen got the gun in the first place. In Camden County, the story of a tow truck driver was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, police are crediting him for stepping in when a school bus caught fire during the morning rush this week.
I got a school bus on fire. Franklin and Maple.
There was body camera video. You could see Berlin police officer rushing to the scene of Tuesday's bus fire. Police say it could have been much worse if not for the hero tow truck driver. That driver on his way to a nearby crash, when he passed the flaming bus, he grabbed the fire extinguisher, went to work helping to make sure everyone got off the bus safely.
Just your initial thought is there could be a kid on that bus. Hurry up and get this flames out.
Although the world has a lot of bad to see, there's still a lot of really, really good people that lurk in the shadows that are looking to do good things daily.
Get this, that tow truck driver wasn't the only hero. Police say several other people rushed to the bus to help in any way that they could. Amazing.
Yeah.
Sixers season starting off strong thanks to a rookie. We beat the Celtics last night in Boston.
Yes, we did. Take a look at all that blue lighting up the Philly skyline to celebrate the Sixers win. It's thanks in part to VJ Edgecombe. The rookie dropped 34 points in last night's season opener, the most in an NBA debut since Wilt Chamberlain in 1959. Tyrese Maxey led the way for the Sixers, scoring 40. Final score here, 117-116.
Love to see it.
That's how you start off. There's an energy there.
Yep, and
we're
that's
feeling good.
Space on the squad there left open because Paul George was out. So he plays 42 minutes and does what he does there on the court. Tyrese Maxey, by the way, adding 40 is also huge.
Yeah.
That's our MVP right there.
Yeah. Hey, we also want to give a shout out to our Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, the Union will open up their postseason run Sunday with a matchup against the Chicago Fire. Best of 3 series kicks off Sunday night at 5:30. Soccer fans invited to a playoff rally today. It'll be at City Hall starting at noon. Can't forget about the Flyers. They're back on the road tonight to face the Senators in Ottawa. Puck drops at 7. Coverage begins on NBC Sports Philly at 6:30.
So while the Flyers are away, Billie Eilish fans will fill Xfinity Mobile Arena, and we saw them camping out at 5 o'clock this morning. Get this, the show doesn't even start until 7 o'clock tonight. I don't get it.
So we were guessing that maybe there's general admission, and so they're waiting online to get closer to the stage. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, unless they're selling unique merchandise that's going to sell out. But I think it's got to be general admission.
Don't they do this at like Taylor Swift concerts too? Like they bring that trailer of the merchandise that you can only get at concerts.
Right.
And you know, these fans are crazy for it. It's
wild.
probably twofold, right? You get you're first in line to get the merch.
Yeah.
You know, your size and everything, exclusive stuff, and then you're first to be right up against the stage. If she's got like a little pit, you know what I mean? A lot of these stages have a little pit.
Have you ever waited in lines for something like that?
Absolutely not.
A concert or a Black Friday or... I don't think I ever
Not
have.
even Black Friday.
No.
I was always out in Black Friday, doing the shopping.
Yeah, it's fun to do that. Yeah.
Never waited.
Right.
Remember the lines you used to see outside of like Best Buy and stuff?
Yes, and they used to push in and run people over.
Yes. Yeah, no,
I'm out of that.
That's a thing of the past. But look, maybe this is the new kind of like Black Friday line mob scene.
Maybe.
Type.
I just didn't know Billie Eilish. I was corrected down in the newsroom. Billie Eilish is that big of a deal to that generation. It makes me feel old, but yeah, that's good then. Good for her. Good for Billie Eilish.
Look, it was a cold morning.
Right, exactly.
It was really cold
waking up in the
out
40s out there. Dedicated fans, Billy.
You got their tents.
Gotta love your fans.
Stuff. Hey, that's going to do it for today's edition of The Lineup.
For Erin Coleman, I'm Keith Jones. You can get NBC 10 News updates right here on the NBC 10 app. You can also catch us weekday mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. Have a great day.
See you guys.